Thank you. I give our guys a lot of credit. They really battled and fought and they competed, all the way through. And certainly we didn't get off to the start that we wanted to get off to, and give them credit. They played with a lot of energy. They shot the ball extremely well. We dug ourselves a real big hole in that first quarter. It was great to see our guys fight their way back into the game at the end of the second. I thought from an offensive standpoint, we're trying not to skip steps, so to speak, in terms of trying to implement and put in a system. And for our team, I think there's a lot of different lineups that we need to look at. So, playing a little bit in Philly with Steven and Ennis big, we hadn't really had a chance to do much of that because of Steven's injury in the preseason. We didn't really have an opportunity to play small either. We've got, a basic package in, and I thought, we went to that. And we weren't able to necessarily, I think we'll add more, but there was a very limited package what we had. I thought Russell really did a great job and took what the defense gave him. The way they play with Chandler, he's a great drop defender, and he's going to give you those 15, 16-foot pull-up jump shots. And I've got confidence in Victor and Russ taking those shots. I didn't like in the first half that 41% of our total number of shots were from non-pink twos, but that's kind of what they do. They press up on the perimeter, and they want to try to funnel you into the middle, and they'll give you that 15-foot shot. So I thought we took some of those shots when they were open, and I also thought we got it to the rim when we needed to. But I thought offensively we were somewhat vanilla, and I don't think it has anything to do with our guys. It's more to do with, I think, just trying not to skip steps and put in packages for different lineups. But it's certainly not fully evolved in terms of having everything in. But our guys, the way they competed, I was really, really proud of that.
Coach?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
Coach, second straight game, Rosen's come up with a game-winning block shot. Just talk about his ability to be able to do that, just come up with key plays on the defensive side.
Andre really played exceptionally well, I thought, on the defensive end of the floor. He guarded a lot of different people. He did a really nice job. Listen, their guards are really hard to guard. We had a hard time defensively preventing them from playing downhill. They really got around our coverage, and they got downhill quite a bit. I thought as the game wore on, we got better and better at handling it. That was a major problem in the first quarter, was the combination of they shot the ball so well from behind the line, and then they were driving the ball to the basket. Now, they didn't shoot a great percentage from three as the game finished out, but to start the game, they were off to a pretty good shot there. So Andre, was on a lot of different guys. He played a lot of different positions tonight. And he competes and wants to win, and he's one of those guys that's the ultimate sacrifice guy and will do whatever he can to help.
Billy, Russell's performance tonight, not necessarily from a results or production standpoint, but just from a workload one, is that something that's sustainable to do?
No, absolutely not. No, and I think, like I said earlier, I think offensively getting more things in, that we've got to be able to do that. Russell, I think from an offensive standpoint, Russell took what was there. Now, he's going to go back and probably look at the film and say some shots here, shots there weren't probably the ones I would like to have had that one back. A couple on some 2-for-1s. But overall, that's what they were kind of giving him. They were giving him that shot, and he could have shot the ball at a much, much better percentage, because he got a lot of really good looks on some pull-up jump shots. They just didn't go in like they normally do for him. And then again, I think through some timeouts, we tried to put some wrinkles in and do some things to move the floor a little bit. But overall, yeah, we've got to get more people involved. I was really hopeful. I knew it was going to be a challenge when they played Dudley at the 4, and they sometimes had slid Warren to the 4, and they had gone kind of small with that lineup. And I was really, really hopeful that we could play big and we could really, go inside and pound the ball upside. And that was the thing. I think if there's one thing I would look at that, we're going to need to do better, is we've got to be able to utilize our big guys better and be able to pound the ball inside and go inside and be a little bit more dominant than we were. I think against Philly we did a really good job of that. I don't know if we did it as good of a job. So, I think from an offensive standpoint, because we didn't have great numbers from Steven or Ennis tonight, we didn't really have a lot in around the basket.
Billy, when you look at the box score and you see 44 shots, it's obviously a whole lot. But when you watch this game and you see the effort and the emotion that Russ put into it, do you even care that he took 44 shots?
No, I think like this is what I talked about before, and he understands this too. Like it's there. I really think where you look at 44 shots, I don't think he was playing he was just jacking shots up there. What stands out to me more than the 44 shots is the shooting percentage. I think he had a lot of shots that he could have made that just didn't go down. I didn't see him forcing. He had a couple threes. He had a couple of maybe some drives where he had a double clutch. But, the 44 shots was him in pick and roll and them backing off him. And I think what ended up happening, if you saw as the game wore on, especially when it got late and we made a run, they started bringing up Chandler. They stopped playing him back there because Russell was getting ahead. His team was getting to the backboard. Once they started bringing him up and the coverage started coming there and Steven was rolling, that's when he hit Kyle for a three, he hit Andre for a three, he hit Victor for a three, he tried to throw the ball lob to Steven. So I thought he mixed up. But like if he's coming off a middle pick and roll or coming off an angle pick and roll and they're back and they're pressed up on the perimeter, he's got to take that shot. He's got to shoot. That's a good shot for him and it's a good shot for our team. Now, certainly when guys are open, you want him to pass the basketball and find the open man. And I thought he did a really good job of that. I mean, he got some guys, some wide open shots. Dre's three that he threw to was I think Russell's got confidence in his teammates. He's not going to throw the ball to Andre if he doesn't believe in him there. And I don't think it was anything more than that. But, yeah, no question. You look at he and Victor scoring and then no one else is in double figures. That's not the balance that we want to have. But for a game like tonight, in my opinion, having a limited package in with our big lineup, have much, much more in with a conventional lineup, and a limited package in with a small lineup. Those are the two packages we've got to build out, is our small package and our big package. And you know what? I give our guys credit that they just battled and fought and competed and found a way to win the game where, we were unable to utilize a real significant strength of our team, and that's been our front court on the backboard, posting up, scoring, those kind of things. And our guys fought. Tonight was Kyle got a lot of minutes tonight, which was great. I thought Victor played better. So there was, I think, a lot of good things from the game and certainly a lot of things that we have to work on to continue to build out.
Why were you able to dominate the glass even when you went small with that group with Kyle and Andre?
Well, we did a good job blocking out. We did not give up a ton of offensive rebounds, which was important. One of our focuses, if you look at our team last year, we were the number one offensive rebounding team in the last year, and I think we were middle of the pack defensive rebounding. Like, that doesn't really add up. We've got to be a better defensive rebounding team. In the last two games, we've been better at that. We've got to, I think, continually try to pound the offensive glass. I mean, that's been a real strength of ours.
Myron Patton Fox, you kind of hit on a little bit that shot that Andre Robertson hit, the ultimate trust moment. I mean, that's a big moment in the game. And for him to take the shot, for Russ to give it up, to knock that down.
No, I think listen, there was some passes. If you look at some of Russell's passes, I didn't see the turnovers. So he had 5 turnovers and 10 assists. But if you look at what he was trying to do, he was trying to interior pass to Steven. He was trying to, but what happens is with the way they're playing defense, you couldn't really do that. And Russell was left having to take some shots. And I thought that he was taking good shots. And when he saw help come in or he saw them pull across, I think he tried to find the open man. Like, listen, he obviously played a lot of minutes, but he got 10 rebounds, 10 assists. He's going to, and that's not including the fact that we shot 41%. Now, he gets 10 assists, and you're not even looking at the fact that he passed the ball and some guys missed shots. He very easily could have been, if we would have shot the ball better, could have been 15 or 18 assists. So his heart, his competitiveness, his will to win, I never want to take that from him or ever get in the way of like feeling where he's can't play with that fire and that that's who he is. But everything he's in timeouts, telling the guys, be ready. They pull across, I'm going to find you, I'm going to hit you. And he's doing that. He's talking about that. And, again, he's got to, when the ball's in his hands, he's got to make those decisions. And tonight was a night where, that they, in my opinion, they were willing to live with him taking those shots and pulling up and taking them. And he's one of the best players in the world. And I have all the confidence in the world that he can make those shots when he's open. And I want him taking those shots. But, again, I think if we can build out with a big lineup and build out with a small lineup, that would be a little bit more helpful to take some off him. Because I also think we have to do that for him as well, because he's not going to be able to do that every night.
Billy, this one more dramatic than the first one, but two first quarters, not great starts. Is there anything consistent there? Anything you look at? Anything in particular you evaluate?
I think what ends up happening sometimes to our team is we're coming in there, and I think we've played two teams that have had an emotional edge. One, I think Philadelphia, there was some excitement. Embiid's back. Simmons hurt. They've battled some injuries. They're trying to build their team up right now. There's an optimism there. So there was a fire from their team. You got a veteran experienced group here in Phoenix that lost their home opener. And, a lot of guys sat on the bench in the second half and had to watch. You knew they were going to come out here. We've got to come out. I thought Phoenix forced us to raise our level of play, and we need to be able to come out with a better level of raised play, and that's to the Phoenix game and both Philadelphia in that first quarter. Because we gave up 40 points, and we're a much, much better defensive team than that.
Hey, Billy, I know the sample size is small with only 2 games, but to win 2 close games, do you chalk it up to getting X's and O's, guys executing? Is it mentality? Do you have a sense of your guys and why they're able to win these close games?
I feel really good right now of, the underneath out of bounds play with 1.1 second. I mean, those guys try to do everything I asked them to do in that situation. The timing was a little bit off. It was a relatively new play we put in on the timeout. The play that Russell, drove on, he obviously, executing coming out of a timeout. Those guys in Philadelphia are doing a great job of executing what I'm asking them to do. But I think the biggest thing that they're doing is they're defending without fouling. They're not giving up second shots, and they're defending the three-point line. Those are the 3 things I think that happen at the end of games that really cause problems. You start fouling people, you start giving up offensive rebounds. You're not mindful of the three-point line. And we've done a good job in those 3 areas. If you look coming down the stretch, we haven't gotten hurt from behind the line, and we haven't gotten hurt from rebounding. We haven't gotten hurt at the free throw line. So, again, I think we can build off this. We've got to play, no question, cleaner. We need to play a lot cleaner. We need to play, better, and certainly that first quarter all the way around to give up 40 points. I mean, we were actually – I think in the first half we shot maybe 48%. It wasn't like our offense was that bad. The problem with the offense was we turned it over 12 or 13 times in the first half. Those are things that we've got to clean up where I think if we can clean some of that stuff I feel we have control over.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.